Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have 6:56 real time, so I'm going to put on some music and wait on the clock to strike 7 a.m. 7 a.m. No, let's try again. 7 p.m. There we go.
Thought I couldn't tell the story of pain, tell how I have struggled again. The way to keep on living was to cry alone and smile in vain. Nobody's business but my own. Some poetry for my alone. Play it safe, move and change, not overgo and no man has gone. What would I do? What would I say? Why am I?
Hey, happy Friday.
Keep smiling, never say tomorrow.
What time is it in Hawaii? I can never get that one right. I can barely get any of them right.
Time now to tell my story. Time now.
Oh, awesome.
Seems my voice has finally found me. And it's time for this travel. Time before I come unravel. Pain is over, time to gather all that I am. Time now.
Oh, you know what? You are not the only one who does not do daylight savings time, isn't it? I think, does England not do it? Oh, tell me, what public holiday is it? I am watching my son dance to mommy's music. I just did that. So if you would like to drop your questions, anybody who, I know what my question was online. It was on Twitter, rather. It was, tell me what's that one thing you're dying to accomplish before the end of the school year, because that's coming up on us pretty quick now. Prince Kohiu Day. I love that. I will have to look up and see. For those of you who are learning more about cultural literacy, today in Hawaii, it is Prince Kohiu Day, and he was the last monarch, thank you, of Hawaii. So if you would like to check out more about that, that'll be something that you can share with your students. Hello, Anna. 658. I was asking on Twitter. I got quite a few answers to the question. What is that one thing you're trying to do before the end of the summer? I know for me, the one thing I really want to do is connect live with my kids. I'm not sure how possible that will be. Many of them are learning from home. I think Raina, a Massachusetts educator, said she wanted to have her students make up rules for their red ball. I have not yet found out what that means, but I am always excited about her answers because they are always student-centered. They're always, she's never doing anything that a student doesn't have to have the answer to, and I love that. That is like my favorite thing in the world. All right, it is just about to be p.m. I am going to start in just a couple of seconds. I will check Twitter one last time. From Anna Savino, let's see. My students are coming up with the next ism in the American literature canon. Oh, wow. Yeah, and I was talking to you. I would love to get our students together. My kids were supposed to be, my lesson plan was creating a graphic novel or a comic book or visual story, and they decided to write some seriously pretty heavy novels. So that might be something we can talk offline about and, get something happening. All right, the hour is 7 a.m. I am going to go ahead and start because I really want to kind of keep my whole 5 strategies in 5 minutes, and then I'll do shout outs and say hellos and all that kind of thing at the end. So thank you so much if you are just joining. I am super excited to have you here. It is week 41. God, I can't believe I'm rolling up on 50 episodes. I'm super excited about that. Please leave a comment, shout me out on Twitter. Let me know what you're learning. I would love to find out how Small Bites is helping you in your classroom. Of course, like and subscribe, and keep coming back every week to learn. And in between, of course, there's the podcast lanyard. You can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. And I'd love to have you listen there and keep learning as well. So this week, I am going to talk a little bit about Happy SEL Day. It's SEL Day, socio-emotional learning. That's the time when we really talk about focusing on our students. We talk about, it used to be called the whole child. It talks about how to make sure that they belong, they have a sense of belonging, and basically the way they feel is very indicative of how they end up achieving. When a student belongs and feels like they are respected and valued, they learn better and more, and they achieve more. There are studies that even show the correlation between how they feel in school and how they achieve financially, which impacts whole communities. So I'll talk a little bit about that in relationship to you. The thing about SEL is, if you have not yet, I'm going to use this word, healed your inner child, you're not going to be able to help children heal. And I say that, and I know there's people who are not into all the warm fuzzy words are going, oh my God, what does that mean? This is what that means. That when you look at students you have, or even other teachers or other staff members, even your own family, you feel either something positive, something negative, sometimes neutral, but the students who bring out the strongest impressions, the strongest feels in you, whether positive or negative, those feelings usually connect back to something that you either learned in school, experienced in school, or something that you did, something that you had that you liked or didn't like. Often it's also connected to something that you like or do not like about yourself. The students that I always kind of get starry-eyed about are those hyper-organized old souls who just already have it together. Oh no, I'm taking my pre-SAT because I need to get service hours. Yeah, but you're only in 7th grade. Yeah, I know, but I want to start early. I always get starry-eyed about those kids because they're so focused so early, and it took me a long time to actually put all the pieces together. So generally, when we have a strong reaction, whether positive or negative, we are usually connecting back to something from our childhood or some way that we feel about ourselves. So for SEL Day, the very best thing that you can do, I just talked about this week at Spring Q, the very best thing that you can do is figure out who you have the strongest feelings about, be it students, be it staff and admin, or be it people in your own family and circle. Find out who produces the strongest reaction in you and see what it is that's really behind those feelings. And as soon as you find your pathway to either that feeling about what you like or don't like about yourself, or that feeling about that, I was a science nerdy kid and this big jock just kept popping me upside the head. Well, if that's it, then you probably have a little something against a jock, or just though that's an example of the kinds of things I'm talking about. So find those things that connect to the strong feelings that you have today and work on those. That's the best way to stop othering, the best way to get rid of implicit bias, to put it in the forefront and work through it. And that's the best way to share socio-emotional love with your kids. All right. And now for the 5 strategies that you are here for. If you have 20 to 30 minutes, spend 30 minutes or so disconnecting from school and doing something you love. Cliche, but true. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you have, not even if you have the time, make the time. Everybody's got a spare 20 minutes. Just go sit in the middle of the floor and watch the room go dark. Do not scroll through Teachers Pay Teachers and Pinterest. That does not count. Just get offline and do something just for you. If you have 15 to 20 minutes, There are going to be some links for the SEL parent guides from today and the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. And there are going to be some things that you can either find to watch with your students or even share with your parents. I know it's parent-teacher conference time, so that's a great thing. And remember, summer's coming. Parents need PD too. If you have 10 to 15 minutes, it is testing season. It's testing season. Everyone's going to need to support one another. There's a great list of SEL games and activities for your campus and classroom on Common Sense Media, and they've curated a great list. And one of those, Mix It Up Lunch Day, is one of my favorites. I even recommend it in a book that I wrote. So check that one out as well. If you have 5 to 10 minutes, review some of the SEL stats that are collected by Castle. In particular, I noticed that if we are giving out number grades, educators, we're failing. So take a look at those statistics. Again, all of the links that I share with you right now are on hedrick.com. You can actually click and follow along. The links down in the show notes. Finally, if you have 0 to 5 minutes, from what I learned by looking at the SEL data, as I said, we're kind of failing. So choose one small grade SEL thing to focus on next week, unless you have spring break. So the one that I chose was all about class routines and just connecting some intentionality, putting some intentionality behind those things. All right, those are your 5 strategies in 5 minutes. If you have to head out, I understand, but I am going to pop on and say hello to some people and see again. Hello, Keisha. Hello, Anna. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Tracy, hey. New Orleans. Let's see. TLC Educate. Thank you so much for showing. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Chris, hey, Canada's in the house. I love it. Stephanie, you found me. Yes, here I am. I am here. If you guys have a question or something that you would like to ask me to cover about SEL, about the connection between SEL and equity, I would love to share any answers. If you would like to ask, oh my God, it's the end of the year and I really wanted to, but I haven't gotten a chance to. How can I? Those are the questions that I'm asking right now. And if you are here with me live, I would love it if you would let me know how I can help you. You've got 7 or 8. Oh yeah, you've got like 6 minutes, 4 to 6 minutes. Because it's a small bite, and so I never want to take up like way tons of time. I am always going to try to hold it down to like about 15 minutes or less, and yeah, all of that good stuff. Oh wow, a stellar group of human beings. Thank you so much. Oh, Keisha, you shared something. SEAD, social, emotional, and academic development. I do know them. If you would like to pop a link in the chat, Keisha, that would be awesome, because when people come back to watch it, they'll be able to go ahead and click on that link as well. So y'all got what I call a lanyard. And Tracy would know what that is. That's a Louisiana phrase for a little extra. It's like a baker's dozen where you get 13 instead of 12. So if you have a lanyard, Keisha's going to put that link in there and you can come back and check it out. Once again, all the links are on hedrick.com. I usually put them up midday sometime on Friday. So you're welcome to go and already pull it up if you want to go along with me as we are here live. All right, I see questions. I see no questions. You know what? I will say this. This really is a stellar group of educators. Every one of you, I know your work at least a little. And so I really, really do appreciate the work that you are doing with other educators and in the classroom. Oh, Chris does have one. Let me see. SEL and returning to the classroom after being online for so long. What do I suggest would be the greatest SEL priority? Not succumbing to the district and state pressure to close learning gaps. Learning gaps, they're real, but they're also a social construct-y kind of real, if that makes sense. The whole world has slowed down. So kids are where they are, but where they are here is most important. When kids come back, yeah, we need to push those math and reading scores, absolutely. But the bottom line is, kids have DM'd. My grandma was in the hospital. Oh, we lost my dad's mom. Then we lost my mom's mom. So there have been a lot of losses. And so what I would say is you have to push the reading and the math, but you have got to, in the forefront, give them a little time to at least decompress and talk about those things. I will also say, be careful, because you're a teacher. And we are not generally trained. We maybe have some trauma-informed teaching, but we're not trained to handle those big things that can sometimes come out when those conversations go off track. So you want to maybe do a journal or a quick write about something. And that way you can catch up with, you can follow up on anything that you see might be a problem for a kid, where they need some support, and you can follow up with your school counselors. But I just say, build some relationships with your kids and let them talk. Let them talk. They need to talk. I have another, SEL into equity. Do you have a go-to strategy to help students create self-advocacy and advocacy in their communities? I imagine an SEL spin would really hit their communication and team building. You know what? I am an advocate, and I teach my kids that they don't have to wait to be advocates. So I kind of let them come to me with whatever's on their heart and then point them in a direction. Last year, I had a student who said, we have a Gay Student Alliance on the high school level, but on the middle school level, they act like we don't know who we are. And she was kind of hot about it. And I understand, because a lot of times the younger students we have a hard time talking about identity issues, gender issues, sexuality issues. We want to pretend that, oh no, they're children. But they're whole human beings, and we have to meet them where they are. So she wanted that. And since we were doing the SDG projects, I said, well, you want to do that for your SDG project? And she did. As a matter of fact, she came to me early, as I recall, now that I think that through. And she wanted to start a GSA on the Gay Student Alliance on the middle school campus, and she planned an event. She had speakers to come who were going to come in. Unfortunately, COVID hit, and all of that didn't get to come to fruition. But next year, I know who I can tap to make sure that happens when more kids are back on campus. Yeah, find what they're passionate about, and then find whoever's advocating in that area. You know what I mean? I've got one student who she likes social justice issues. And so, I give her all the social, I give her Learning for Justice. I give her ACLU side. There's another one I can't think of because thinking and talking at the same time is hard. She said, oh, I know all of those. Do you have any more? And I gave her like 4 websites. So find out what they're passionate about, and then do some research and find where they can hook in. I also let them know that in Texas, you only have to be 18 to be on the school board. So yeah, let it come organically. Absolutely. Because you know what? We want to give them stuff. And the truth of the matter is, if we send them to go get it, it means so much more. It just means so much more. Thank you very much. I just heard that I'm a great live host. So I would like to say thank you so much for coming. That will actually be my segue to go and have some king bread. I had a wonderful package on my doorstep today, and someone sent me a Mardi Gras specialty from New Orleans. Guys, I want to thank you so much for coming, for sharing. Again, I will start right at 7 o'clock. And unless we have something that's really, really brisant, I will end by 7:15. Next week, I will not be here. It's Good Friday, and I will be observing that holiday. And I will see y'all in 2 weeks, but there'll be a little lanyard that you can find here and on the podcast. All right. Thank you guys so much. I can't wait either. I am going to get to meet all of my friends. I'm so glad that the vaccines are coming and that the pandemic is at least starting to kind of look like it's winding down, or we're being able to manage it. I'm thankful for that. So think about what you're grateful for. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in 2 weeks. How do you eat an elephant? One small bite at a time. See you on Lanyard in the meantime. Thank you, guys.